Okay, so I'm going to do a review of Kevin Smith's She-Man show. I watched some of the reviews canning the show, but I decided I would watch it anyway. When I was little, I was more into She-Ra than He-Man. But I have got a Teela doll and a Prince Adam doll. A few other assorted characters from She-Ra you might see in the background. I like to cosplay She-Ra. And the only episode of the original generation He-Man that I actually remembered was the crossover where She-Ra was introduced, and I really enjoyed that one. But yeah, I didn't have any fond memories of the He-Man show to ruin, just the She-Ra one, so thanks a lot, Netflix. Anyway, spoiler warning, all that sort of crap. I thought the animation was okay, and it wasn't anywhere near as pretty as Tales of Acadia, but not as clunky as the first season of Dragon Prince. And it was kind of clunky when I watched it, but it might have been lag, because it's all internet, you know, so I might have to watch it again with fresh internet and just see. I actually liked the character designs, and I found that they were close enough to the original generation that I could recognise who they were supposed to be. And Prince Adam is just so damn pretty. He's so pretty. This doll makes me think of Incredible Hulk with the Prince Adam face, and I actually liked the Prince Adam design. I think he's so pretty. I did find it strange that Adam looked like he was maybe 16 while Teela was 21, and I thought they were supposed to be the same age, being best friends. And I also thought, well, maybe they were going for a Clark Lex situation from Smallville vibe. Anyway, yeah, Adam is pretty and delicate, and Teela must be so jealous. I liked that Adam had the psychic connection with the sorceress, and I found it really strange that she could pick up that Skeletor was shape-shifting, but not the other fake. I was like, really? Seriously? Really? Is she supposed to be the sorceress, and she couldn't pick up on... Anyway. I found that the King's comments to Adam, they hit me really hard in the feels. I was not expecting that. I didn't remember that at all, but I later watched another episode of the original generation and found out that was pretty standard attitude, it looks like. I liked that the Queen worked out that he was He-Man all by herself. It was like, yes, mummy, observing. Good, nice. And I really liked Duncan and Man-at-Arms, and he was kick-ass. I liked Evelyn. I really liked how she recognised that Man-at-Arms was a real threat in the battles. I liked Evelyn's character growth, and I would cosplay her, you know, I like cosplaying. She was really cool, and my goodness, did you check out her arm muscles? And she works out, and I do pole. I haven't been doing it for a while, but I had me wondering if she does pole, and she'd be pretty good at it, I think. I liked that Skeletor actually was fairly smart for a bad guy in this one. Like, I do remember that he was always being defeated, and it was just like, oh, typical dumb bad guy. I even liked that he was shocked at finding out who He-Man actually was. And yes, Adam was pretty when he was about to die, just so pretty. I like Adam. He and Man-at-Arms are my favourite characters, followed closely by Evelyn and then Orko. I remember that Orko was really annoying in the original, but I didn't find him annoying in this one. I really liked how Adam was pretty humble, and he was willing to give up his life and his afterlife for the people and the planet that he loves. And did I mention he's pretty? So damn pretty. I could probably cosplay Adam as well, and I think I'm probably about the same build as him. And I like that he was little as his own self and then super buff as He-Man. Because after watching like the other episode, I thought they look the same. He-Man and Adam look the same. Adam has more clothes on than He-Man, and I'm like, really? You couldn't figure out that Adam is He-Man? You just look at him. Anyway, the magical girl transformation had me giggling, and I was like, yes, pretty boy transformation, hot! And oh my gosh, those eyelashes, he's just gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I have absolutely no memory of Mossman from the original generation, so apart from his death being gruesome, it didn't impact me at all. I didn't even recognise the voice actor. It didn't impact me at all. I found the religious sect with Triclops interesting as a concept, but annoying in the execution. Found it insulting to Christianity, substituting Father, Son, and Holy Spirit for technobabble. Like, holy sprocket? Really? Really? The motherboard nanites are freaking scary. The Borg and Cybermen are nightmare fuel for me, and I see this sect as a real potential ongoing threat, but I bet it will be sidelined as a joke. And when the acolytes attacked the magic spring, saying Motherboard demanded a flesh sacrifice, I actually expected characters to be carted off and forcefully converted, and for me that is nightmare fuel, and it would have been really cool, but it was a wasted potential. You just missed it. I can just sort of imagine if Triclops decided to convert Teela's girlfriend in that situation. Like, that's an actual horror stakes, but oh, whatever, I missed out. And there was just so much standing around during the fights. Like, who choreographed this fighting? Obviously no one has ever watched a fight, especially martial arts style fight. They just stand there going, oh my gosh, somebody's doing something, and I'm not going to step in and defend my friend or anything like that. No, I found that crap. The race swapping didn't faze me at all, and I wouldn't have even known about it except that the reviews talked about it, and I don't remember those characters from the original generation, so I'm like, well, whatever, I don't care. They look cool. They look cool. I don't care. I enjoyed the voice acting for the most part, and Skulljoker is just more sinister sounding than the original generation Skeletor, in my opinion. And his actions were darker and far more devastating, and I was like, yay, competitive crazy bad guy, yay! But I found his comments about no one wanting him as a man, so he'd become a god, it was really strange, since all that time Evelyn had been thirsting for him, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. But maybe Skeletor doesn't swing that way, if you know what I mean. I mean, the way he pressed up behind Prince Adam sure was fuel for us fanfiction writers. And the way that he was talking about painting that boat, whatever colour it was, I'm like, well, maybe he just doesn't swing towards Evelyn. So maybe, yeah, maybe, okay, cool, whatever. And did I mention that Adam is pretty when he's about to die? He's just, like, so pretty. Orko's character development was nice, and he was no longer annoying. I really liked him, especially when he was finally able to do the right spell, but his death was meh. Just like, not epic at all, and like had all this epic music in the background, and I'm like, it's not moving me at all. And why didn't he turn up in He-Man Valhalla? He vanished, so maybe he's not dead. Ooh, maybe, wouldn't that be nice? But even with his character development, it just wasn't enough to make me feel anything over his death, and it was just disappointment. I did think it was cool that he wasn't afraid in the face of death, and that was probably because he was already dying and he'd come to terms with that. So Glow, whatever his name was, I can't remember, the glowing skeleton dude of hell, could have no power over him, and that's how I'm choosing to read it, and I like that. And I also thought that He-Man Valhalla was really empty, and for a heaven, where are all the people? I mean, like, there wasn't any people in the hell. Where are all the people in the heaven? Do they just disappear? You know, the afterlife thing just wasn't really thought out, I think. Also, why would the robot guy die there? And to me, it would have been more interesting if he'd been transformed into a real person, like a real soul. He got a physical body, and then he stayed behind so Adam could go back. You know, that's kind of cool. You know, that would be cool. But why would he die at all? He's a freaking robot. You bring his robot body back to Eternia, give him some new limbs and a jump start, and he'll be fine. And if his circuits had been fried in the blast, then he wouldn't have been able to do his death spiel in the first place. So whatever. I didn't have any emotional connection to him at all, so his death had no impact on me, whatever. Teela. I don't like her. She is so entitled and bitter. And at least 3 times, people who were supposed to be important to her tried to give her advice or tell her something that was supposed to be important to herself, and she just shuts them down. I don't want to hear it! And she wonders why she wasn't let in on Adam's little secret. I really wanted somebody to tell Teela to shut the hell up, let me finish telling you this important information, just shut up. But I bet they won't because Tela's just always right and stuff, you know, feminism and all that crap. And I'm just gonna sigh again. Yeah. I think it was really telling that her fear was first presented as He-Man. And frankly, during their fight, I expected him to try and rape her. I'm glad that didn't happen. But there were a few shots where it looked like that might have been going to happen. And yeah, when a man who's way bigger and stronger than you and has the potential to rape and murder you, it's really terrifying. So I could see that. The potential for the guy you love to be the one to do that to you is even worse. And I can see why he would be present there. But the way it turned all around into emotional, I couldn't trust you with my secret, or she's scared of her destiny, or of being some great person, or whatever. I'm like, that's bullshit. I call bullshit. In my opinion, it would have been more realistic if Teela acts all tough, but deep down she's scared of He-Man turning evil and hurting her. And also that she actually wants valor and adventure, but she's scared of being married off and settling for becoming a housewife and a broodmare. You know, that makes more sense. I would have gone, yeah, cool. I can associate and empathise and connect with that. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Who wants to be a broodmare when you could be a knight doing really cool stuff with the blokes, you know? Nope. Nope. Not just wasted story potential again. Teela's special abilities are bitching, and her super special awesome staff of plot convenience, or batch utility staff as I'm calling it. Apart from refusing to communicate openly with people who are essentially there needing the communication to fix the situation, and I'm wondering to myself, is this supposed to be plot tension and melodrama? It's not, it's just frustrating. She doesn't actually do anything interesting. I don't see why she would be Adam's best friend at all. I've not seen any friendly qualities even towards her girlfriend. All of her skills and knowledge come from her experience with He-Man or Duncan, and I don't see what makes her special in any way. I do wonder if previously she'd made it clear to Adam that she only thinks of him as a friend, while at the same time telling Adam that she lusts over He-Man, and just like Lois Lane is over Clark and Superman. And I can imagine that would be really hurtful and confusing to Adam, and it makes him an even better person in my eyes for not taking advantage of Teela in that way. And also makes me wonder if he swings that way as well. So, yeah. But anyway, I read a lot of embarrassment into her anger towards Adam, and this is now my own personal headcanon. I don't care if actual canon refutes it. She's in lust over He-Man. She's friend-zoned Adam. She finds out they're the same person, and she's really embarrassed over it, so has to cover it. That's the canon in my head now. When the king banished Duncan after finding out about Adam, I expected his daughter to stand up and say, "Oi, that's my dad. You want me to kick you out?" No way. So she throws her angry tantrum about He-Man being Adam and not being told, and like this is the most important thing going on. I'm like, the world is just ending. Your friend has just died. Their son has just died. The important champion of the world has just died. And you're just, oh, I wasn't told. Oh. I'm like, I liked that the Queen guessed that he was actually He-Man, and she was grieving and behaving like an actual parent. I would have liked it if the Queen had said, I guessed. Like, I wasn't told, I guessed. And what are you, blind? He's supposed to be your best friend and never even noticed that he was doing this, you know? Hello? When Taylor accused, everybody knew except for me. I would have liked the Queen to do that, but no, Taylor. Even his parents weren't in the know, and you're not a knight yet. You're just a little kid. You probably would have been informed after your knighting ceremony if Skeletor hadn't attacked. But there's national security and all that jazz, and I bet Duncan will probably die in some boring way to benefit Teela's character development to try and just a man do this sort of stuff. I'm actually kind of shipping Man-at-Arms and Evelyn. Yeah, I hope they end up together. I just think that would be nice. Man-at-Arms and Evelyn, because she's like, oh, that Man-at-Arms, oh my gosh, he was the real threat. Yeah. Anyway, I find the demand and emotional blackmail from female friends and significant others to be in the know when a guy's in a job that requires confidentiality, that really pisses me off. Just that trope. I hate it. It's just like Iris in The Flash demanding her dad and Barry tell her all about police cases so she can write them in her blog, and then getting all pissy when they're like, no, this is a police investigation, there's confidentiality. No. No, her demanding that's lousy research and lousy writing. And just because your dad is man-at-arms does not give you the automatic right to know all the goings-on. I don't like Taylor's haircut, but it does suit her bitchy character as it's presented, and you get used to it, so yeah. And yeah, I bet she's just so jealous over how pretty Adam is in comparison. I mean, yeah, he's just so damn pretty. I'd like a Prince Adam plushie doll, I think. I know that they're not doing any of the actual action figures that have got Adam. Not little Adam, anyway. But I'd like a little Adam plushie doll, I think. I might have to make one. I don't actually even remember Teela's girlfriend's name, and I kept waiting for her to die. But if they were to kill her off, there would be just an outcry for killing the black lesbian character, you know, just because, to me, she just feels like she's a token character. But I'm still waiting for her to die anyway. I like that she's an engineer. I like her gadgets. I think she's cool. I do wonder where she got all the technology in the Valhalla to make all the techno forging. That was just really weird. And while I've never actually run a forge, I don't think that's quite how they work. I'm pretty sure you're supposed to heat up the metal before you bash the shit out of it with a hammer. Whatever, you know. I'm finding it's badly researched and things. Skeletor coming back at the end was a great big, look behind you! I was just like, look behind you! And I was really disappointed that he didn't cut Teela's head off. She was right there! You had the sword in your hand, she was right there, and that's another missed opportunity. And another sigh from me. And I also wonder why Adam coughed out blood when the spear didn't actually go through his chest. It's not even actually his lower ribs. It's his abdomen, you know, it's below his ribs, so he wouldn't necessarily be coughing up blood, you know. If it was more central line, I would have thought, yeah, maybe he could be doing like a aortic aneurysm type thing, whatever that's called. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but it's more central line. It's blood pressure on one side is high and the blood pressure on the other side is low, and you start coughing up like coffee grounds or whatever. Yeah, cool, but it's not. So yeah. But to me, I would go, yeah, the wound is survivable if he gets the right magical or medical care, but will he? Probably not, because, you know, he's the white male hero, and you can't possibly have a male hero being a male hero. Being a decent male character, you have to have the female lead being the male character now. And how else will Teela become the new She-Man if Adam is still alive? And frankly, the stabbing scene is my most favourite scene from the show. And I've got it as a desktop now. I've screen captured it. Adam hanging from the spear with Skeletor behind him. Yep, it's now my desktop. Because he's just so damn pretty when he's about to die. He is. He's just so pretty. Anyway, the only character I actually really connected with emotionally was Adam, and I liked his subtle depth. I hope he isn't actually killed off for good, because I'm only watching it for him. You know, so next episode, if they kill him off, yeah, I will not watch the rest of it. Unless somebody then spoils it and says, oh, they bring him back somehow, and whatever. Anyway, I think that it would have been better if there had been at least 1 or 2 more episodes to start with to show who these characters were and the power dynamics, because yeah, I've watched a few of the episodes since now, and now I've gotten back into the old episodes because I'm like, I want more He-Man, but I don't really remember it. I remember more She-Ra than He-Man. So some of the questions that I have, like I have a big thing of show me, don't tell me. And I found there was a lot of telling rather than showing. So I'm like, why was Teela finally being knighted? Show me the battle she led the army in. That would have been cool. Then you could go, oh yeah, she's being knighted. That's cool. She really is a really cool person. Why was Skeletor considered such a loser to the sorceress? Show me at least one battle where he's defeated, and then maybe have him planning and deciding to do something different, and that can be sinister foreshadowing. You maybe even have somebody commenting that he's been quiet for a while, and so is he finally defeated, or is he planning something? So then when he turns up, it's like, oh, he's doing something different. He's found something. Yay. Why is He-Man a champion? Show me actually having him doing stuff and beating up bad guys, and not just in the flashbacks. I wouldn't have minded it even if it was Teela planning something and him following the plan. But just show it. Show me something that is cool before the show is like, oh yes, he's our champion. Okay. Why were Teela and Adam best friends? Because they sure don't behave that way. Yeah, he came up and he gave her a hug from behind, and then she twisted his arm, and he's like a goofball or some rubbish like that. But that doesn't really show me that they're best friends at all. Show me a scene before a battle where they're hanging out and talking, having deep and meaningful discussion, and maybe even have Adam say, hey Teela, there's something I want to tell you. And then they get interrupted with a call to battle or something, and then Teela rushes off, and Adam's just looking after her going, see ya. And then he rushes off, and then he turns into He-Man and things. But, give me a scene where they're actually friends doing something friendly-ish, not, oh, you suck, Adam, you're crap. Yeah, I know, Teela, you're stronger than I am. Oh, I've got a secret you don't know. No, friendship, please. Who the hell is Moss Man, and why is he important? Show me something that makes me feel something over his death. Show him feeding fluffy bunnies at the edge of this forest or something. I don't really care what it is. Just show me something that gives me an emotional connection to him, so that when he dies, I'm like, oh, that's not just a gruesome death. That's like, oh, they killed him off. Oh. I'm just like, whatever. Why is Orko's stuff-ups always tolerated? Show me something more than just his stuff-ups. Show me his friendship with Man-at-Arms, and why would Man-at-Arms take him in. Show me him privately trying to get better at his magic and trying to research why his magic always goes wrong. Show me doing something, He can obviously teleport, and maybe part of that be that his teleportation is what his magic power actually is, and all the rest is just physically beyond him for whatever reason. Like, Obi-Wan's not talented in healing force powers or something like that. So when his master got killed, he couldn't heal his master because that's not where his talents lie, So he's trying to do something outside of his talent base. Yeah, whatever, I don't care. Why is Teela so freaked out by magic anyway? And why is she so against her destiny? Like, I guess, yeah, we know that her mother is actually the sorceress. Whoop-de-doo. We know that if we know about the previous series. But, that's not mentioned here. It's just, whatever. Show me something like she started sprouting some magical talent, like she's dreaming of the future or seeing death and destruction, and that freaks her out. And so when everything happens, she's rejecting magic with all she is, because she just doesn't want anything to do with it, Saying it's all magic's fault, this attitude is like blaming the ocean because a loved one drowned while they're out fishing. And the ocean's not to blame, sweetie. People not respecting the ocean, not understanding it, or just being freaking unlucky. That's the cause of it, You don't blame the ocean. You don't go play there, You go swim where the sharks are and you get bitten. It's not the shark's fault. The shark is being a shark, Why are people willing to be transformed into cyborgs? Show me that there are food shortages and riots, and the king and queen have withdrawn from everything and they're not coping, so people are turning to a potential life-saving option. Show me why the dad is so desperate and willing to be converted into a monstrosity thing. That's creepy. That's creepy. Cyborgs are creepy. But maybe if his wife had been dying and the nanites saved her life, that kind of stuff is cool, It's attractive to the poor and desperate, That makes sense. These people were sick and dying. They were hungry. They became these cyborg critters they no longer needed to eat. Wow, no problems with food shortages anymore. No problems. Yay. And where did the nanites even come from in the first place? Is it a sign that magic is dying and so technology is taking over? They talk about magic is dying and all this stuff, but is this actually because of that? Is it an invasion from another planet or dimension? Did Triclops come up with the tech himself? And so, if he did, show me him giggling over a vial of the stuff going, oh, with this I'll be able to become master of the universe, more, I'll control these minions, whatever. Show me. But most importantly for me, why was Adam not clutching at his own wound when he got stabbed straight through with the spear? Abdominal injuries curl you up into a little ball. You don't lay flat for that kind of thing. You don't keep your hands away from the injury while you bleed out. It's like, oh, I've been stabbed. Oh. No, you go, oh my god! Research. Skeletor did not sever his spine, let alone at a level that would prevent his arms from working, and they didn't cut his head off, If you're going to make this dark, put some effort into real physical reactions to injuries, please. Please. But at least Adam was pretty while he was groaning in agony and being sexually harassed by Skeletor. Anyway, Teela aside, I did enjoy the show. I want to see at least the next episode to find out if Adam lives or dies. But if he doesn't survive the next episode, I'm not going to bother with the rest. So please, Kevin Smith and whoever is doing it, don't kill off the only pretty character in this show. Adam is my eye candy. He's the only reason I'm watching. And did I mention he's pretty? He's just so damn pretty.